Hey guys, Jamil here from AutoIndustriya, and today we're comparing new school versus old school.
The hell are you calling old school? Hey everyone, Vince from AutoIndustriya along with Jamil, and what we have for you here is perhaps the most unusual Comparo we've ever had. We have HRV versus Jimny. Jamil, you want to tell us why we're actually comparing these two?
Well, actually, Vince, it's very simple. Both of these vehicles are actually similarly priced to each other.
Actually, that's a question we've been getting a lot because customers, they ask us, hey, would you get a Jimny over this or Jimny over that? And then when we look at what they're comparing it to, it's totally different because the pricing of the Jimny and the HRV is actually very, very close. People, yes, really do consider getting one of the other. But of course, there are going to be some major differences in terms of expectations. Let's start first with the HRV. Jamil, what is the HRV?
Right, so what we have here is the Honda HRV-S. Essentially, this is the most affordable variant in the HRV lineup. We have the top-of-the-line RS, the V-Turbo, and this one is the base S variant. So, it's a subcompact crossover, and it's got 5 doors. Honda hid the door handles at the rear at the C-pillars. What do you think, Vince?
Well, that's kind of a faux 3-door. This one is an actual 3-door. That's what's always been great about the Jimny. Now, there are going to be 5-door variants of the Jimny coming from India, but this is one of the OG ones. Actually, the model we're looking at here, this has been around, this specific unit has been around since 2019. So it's pretty, I mean, in terms of dog years already for cars, it's already pretty long in the tooth. But as you can see, it's a proper 3-door SUV. And by SUV, I mean actual SUV, not some crossover. This is a real SUV, man. They're like, there's a frame underneath, it's body on frame, it's live axles, it's pretty cool. But in terms of looks, you can see the charm, the difference in the two. Yours, what do you think of the look of that?
Well, it's actually very modern. As you can see, the HRV has more mature styling than ever before. The HRV from previous years, it's looked more like a teenager. This one looks more like a prim and proper professional.
Yeah.
So you can see their piano black accents, the nice LED headlights, and I really love the wheels.
Yeah, it's a very millennial look. This one is Gen X pare. This represents us, man. I mean, look at the car. It's boxy. You can dress it. I see people dressing this up to look like a little Defender, little D, or a little G-Wagon. Personally, I would do something like that if I ever got one of these, and I still want one of these. But as you know, haba pila nito eh. Kasi
yes.
Everyone still wants a Jimny, and that's why we're comparing the two. This is still very much a desirable little SUV. So is that one, but that's much newer. So let's get to the specifics of both. So Jamil, what's powering your Honda HRV?
Well, this HRV-S is powered by a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. It's NA, and it's paired to a CVT, and it's FWD.
FWD. Ako rin naman, FWD eh. 4-wheel drive. That's the magic of the Jimny. You can't get this in front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. You get this in 4-wheel drive or nothing. Powering the car is a 1.5-liter. It's, of course, driving all 4 wheels, and it's got either a 5-speed manual like this one, but the one closer to your version is the 4-speed automatic version of this.
Well, how many horses has this got?
100. Yun sa'yo.
This one has 121 PS. So I'll leave you in the dust. VTEC,
yeah,
yo.
sure. VTEC. Kayong mga millennials, sige mag-VTEC kayo. Kaming mga old school, man, pag bumaha na, iwan ka na sa akin.
Well, this one is still pretty high.
Yeah, but it's not as high as this, man. It's like 13 inches off the ground yung baseboard niyan. So, anyways, you know what? Let's compare what's inside and see what we get.
Vince, what do we have here?
Well, what you have here is a real SUV. Yeah, I mean, you're very upright, you're sitting upright, you've got a great view. You have a classic standard key, which you insert there, and then, yeah, oh. See, you got
100
the power,
horsepower.
100 horsepower. That is all you need in something this light. But the interior, again, it's more function than form. You see, Suzuki, they're not focusing on trying to give you, something that's very aesthetically pleasing just for the sake of something that looks good. They focus on functionality. The gauges, see this? Yeah, dual binnacle, just amber multi-info display in the middle. You have a steering wheel that gives you great control when you're going off-road. You've got buttons here for the audio system. And by the way, the audio system of this is very nice, actually. It's a big screen.
It's actually pretty big.
Yeah, it's actually pretty big. It's got playback of all kinds of things, Bluetooth and all that. But it doesn't really have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. But, us Gen Xers, doesn't matter too much.
Vince, anti-millennial theft device.
Oh my God, anti-millennial theft device. A 5-speed manual right there. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth, and fifth, and reverse
Wait
right
a second.
there.
Where's your power windows?
It's right here in the middle. See?
Ayun.
Oh, see? You have here one touch up, down. Bye-bye, Jamil. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But see, that's the great thing. Suzuki, they put the switches actually right here in the middle to make it more economical. Same with the switch for that one. See? Now, what other car does that kind of style of switch?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Mini. Mini does it in the middle for a lot of their vehicles because to save space, to give you more of what you need, they put it here in the middle. Now you have
Actually
AC.
makes sense.
Yeah, you have AC. You have the manual AC rotary style. You have traction control, hill descent. Yes, hill descent control. The USB port is right there. 12-volt outlet there. You have a handle here so the passenger can steady themselves while you go off-road because off-roading does do a bit of that because it is a live axle.
What's that other shifter for?
Oh, this is for the transfer case. Because, like I said, 4-wheel drive, but you're not going to be driving 4-wheel drive all the time. So, if you're on the road, you'll have it in 2 high, and then you go to 4 high. Let me see if I can do that. Now it goes to 4 high. It's engaged. And then if you press it down, and then pull one more time, there you go. 4 low, it disengages the traction control, and now you have 4 low. You can enjoy your little Jimny out on the open, well, not really road, but the real compromise here, of course, I will give you that. There's not much rear space.
Yeah.
It's really a 4-seater only. It's not a 5-seater. So don't try to get like everyone in there in the back because there's not much leg room either. That's really the compromise here. This is more like a personal car, something you would take on an adventure with maybe your girlfriend or your wife or girlfriend. Let's check out your HRV.
Now this interior is much more like it. And as you can see, it's much more modern. The aircon is better, the switches, everything. Screen even has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have soft touch panels on the dashboard, the door cards. And yeah, it has paddle shifters. The speedometer is much more modern. It also has, well, these armrests right here. So very nice, very comfortable, unlike the Jimny.
Asan yung 4x4 mo?
Well, I don't have one because it's front-wheel drive. But I do have something you don't have in the Jimny.
What?
And that is the Honda Sensing function.
The Honda
This-
Sensual.
Honda Sensing.
Sensual.
Sensing.
Sensing. Okay.
Sensing. So what this basically does is it has adaptive cruise control and the lane keep function.
What
So,
does it adapt to?
Well, actually, this one reads the car ahead when you're traveling at the expressway.
So yes, reading the car ahead, the speed and distance. So what else does it have?
Well, it also has a lane keep assist system. So it's called LCAS. What that basically does is when you're traveling along the expressway, you can just rest your hands behind the wheel and let the car do the steering for you.
Kotseng pang tamad talaga itong mga bata ngayon. But yeah, you have a nicer, it has a nicer interior, definitely. Cup holders,
Yes.
has more USB ports.
One more thing.
What?
I also have more space at the back. So in case I do have friends to go out with, well, I can go out with it, unlike the Jimny.
Yeah, this is the HRVS single. All right, Jamil, so tell me about the cargo space of the HRV.
Well, by all means, let's pop the trunk.
Wow, lift gate.
As you can see, there's a very flat load space. And that's because it's front-wheel drive. So I don't have that bulky differential that you have in the Jimny. So I can put a very generous amount of luggage at the back. And one more thing. Help me out and let me show you how versatile the HRV is. You have these
Oh, okay.
ULTR seats.
What
so
does
you
that
can
stand for?
configure them in other ways.
What does ULTR stand for?
Well, utility, long, tall, and refresh.
Kala ko R for... No, never mind. So, okay, what else? It's pretty spacious, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the biggest thing you can get in there?
You
I don't know, driving seat? Simulator seat? Whatever, fine. Sige na, it's a big space. But let's check out the Jimny. Okay, fine, so Jamil has the advantage when it comes to space. But look at the Jimny, it just looks so cool with the spare tire here in the back. Now, the spare tire in the back, it has a major effect on the vehicle because that means the tailgate, well, has to swing out sideways instead of swinging up like the HRV.
Well, why
now,
do they swing out like that?
it's because it has to support the weight of the spare tire.
I see.
So that's why you never see a spare tire on the back if the tailgate goes up, the lift gate goes up. So now help me out here with the space. So see, I've got plenty of space too. Actually, I don't even need your help. It's very easy for me to do because I can do it from the back. See,
Yeah, not bad.
lots of space right there. The seat is right there and it's also protected, but not as much as your millennial mobile. But hey, the Jimny gets it done. But you know what? I've already driven both of these cars. This one I've driven before. That one I drove a couple months ago. Jamil, why don't you take both out and see which one you like? I want you to go off-road. Ah, wait, sorry. Hindi pa na makaka-off-road yan.
Now we're behind the wheel of the Honda HR-V S, and immediately you'll notice the level of refinement is much better when compared to the Jimny. It's because the HR-V is based on a car platform, so it's designed to be very smooth, very comfortable, and very effortless when you're driving it in the city as well as here on the expressway. In the city, the HR-V still has pretty much compact size, so you can still weave in and out of traffic. But in the highway, it's big enough to be a stable crossover. You know what I mean? The HR-V feels planted, and you don't have to worry about passing buses or large trucks and unsettle the car. Since it's paired to a CVT, you get the advantage of better fuel efficiency. In the city, I'm getting around 9 kilometers per liter, and on the highway, on the expressway, you can get up to 17, 18 kilometers per liter. But of course, if you're the type of person who goes outdoors and you go to the beaches, the HR-V might struggle a bit because, as we know, it's only two-wheel drive. Despite the added ground clearance, you have to tread more carefully when you're going off-road. But if you're spending most of your time in the city and you're doing long drives on paved roads, then you might be better off with the HRV. So now we're behind the wheel of the Suzuki Jimny. And from the get-go, you would notice that the Jimny doesn't just have that old school look, but it also has that old school feel to it. You see, since it has that truck-like platform that's typical of the old school SUVs like the Y60 Patrol or the Land Cruiser 80, the Land Cruiser 70. Feels very similar to that one. Though this one is, of course, a much smaller package. And of course, having that truck platform gives you a truck-like feel to it. You can really feel the vibrations of the transmission, the engine. You can hear the whine of the transfer case, or I think that's the transmission. I don't know what it is, but it's making those noises. In the city, the Jimny is very easy to drive because it's small, can fit, well, basically in every parking space there is. And of course, the small size it's easy to weave in and out of traffic. But when you take the Jimny to the highway, that's where the limitations of the size and its design are being, somewhat exposed. Since it has a high center of gravity, and it has the aerodynamics of a box. You do have to exert a bit more effort into keeping the car, the Jimny, straight when you're going around 80, 100 kilometers per hour on the expressway. And especially when there are, fast trucks and buses overtaking you on the expressway. Yeah, they do seem to unsettle the Jimny. So when you compare the road manners of the Jimny with the HRV, well, the HRV feels more planted when you're on the highway. But of course, there are some things the HRV would struggle to do that the Jimny does very well. In terms of fuel efficiency, the Jimny also does well in that area, because I've been getting around 9 kilometers per liter on the city and 14 to 15 kilometers per liter on the expressway. So yeah, because it has a small displacement engine, you can also get respectable fuel efficiency numbers with the Jimny. There's not much vehicles with this kind of feeling anymore. And that is why I think the Jimny appeals to buyers very well, because for them it's a major throwback to what they were used to driving before. But also, it's because, well, it's a cute little thing that can go off-road.
All right, Jamil, now you've driven both. What do you think?
Well, I've enjoyed driving the Jimny off-road. I had hell of a lot of fun with it.
Hell of a lot of fun, of course.
Yeah.
It's the only one that can go off-road. This one cannot, but
Yeah.
for highway.
But for
on-road.
highway, well, the Jimny does get to drive a bit nervous when it comes to driving on highway speeds.
Bumpy and
Medyo malikot eh.
Yeah, that's really the thing with something so upright because it's very upright, has a fairly high center of gravity. So when a truck passes you by, gumagana na,
Yes.
umurong.
And
Yeah,
I really miss the HRV's Honda sensing when I'm in the highway. So
Honda sensing. Okay,
very comfortable,
fine.
very effortless on the highway.
That's true.
Yeah. And when it comes to city driving, well, I can weave in and out of traffic with the Jimny just as good as the HRV.
Di ba bumabaha sa inyo?
Well, hindi naman. Medyo mataas na doon.
Sa amin kasi bumabaha. So that's for me. I like something like the Jimny. But you know what? I get what you mean. For everyday driving, highway driving, something like the HRV is just fantastic. And that's what we wanted to show you with this Comparo. It's not about which one is better or which one is worse. It's to show you the kind of flavors you can get for more or less similar kinds of money. If you want to go kind of off-roading, if you want to go for an urban adventure, trail adventure, whatever, you can take something like a Jimny. This one starts at around, like, I think 1.2 million up to the 1.3 something million mark. This one, it starts at almost 1.4 up to 1.7. But whichever you pick, you better know that there are going to be advantages and disadvantages to either. It's up to you to choose which kind of driving you're going to be doing. Anyways, this is Vince
And Jamil
of
AutoIndustriya.com.
AutoIndustriya.com. See you on the next one.
Bye.